You find a story that's so fucked up that you just have to spend the probably 15 minutes reading this and making comments. This is from Huffington Post, and the author's name is Tria Chang. She's an Asian lady. And the headline, I'm an Asian woman engaged to a white man, and honestly, I'm struggling with that. Oh, God. Quote, oh, God, another Asian girl, white boy couple. I groan, dropping my fiance's hand. He hates it when I do this. Gee, I wonder why. So do I, really. I know it's unkind and self-loathing. But every time I see another couple of our racial makeup, a little part of me sinks. We live in San Francisco, so this dip is as common as the hills. You know what else is as common as the hills in San Francisco? Asian people. In these moments, I wish we were anything else. That he were my gay best friend, or we were startup co-founders. That he were Asian and I were white. That we were exquisitely ambiguous races. Or that I could sink like my feelings into the sidewalk, be a little worm, and date whomever I want without considering social perception. I think you can do that. And once your fiancé reads this pile of bullshit, I think you might be single again. Just pointing it out for you. Tria. Shame is neither the wisest nor most mature part of oneself, but it still has a voice, quote, stop it, you guys. My shame wants to say to these other couples, quote, can't you see the more of us there are, the worse it looks, end of quote. The first time I heard the term Asian fetish, I was the only Chinese kid in a tiny school. Probably private because your parents were successful. Saying. Other students in my class had been pairing up dating since 5th grade. 5th grade, okay. Exchanging love notes and making each other Alanis Morissette mixtapes. 5th graders? Have you listened to Jagged Little Pill? Guys, it's not really for 5th graders, but okay. But nothing came in 5th, 6th, 7th, or 8th grade. Finally in 9th grade, I got an email on Valentine's Day from a sporty, popular boy. Is this the first one you're remembering? Because you probably got emails from the not sporty, unpopular boys, and you just blew them off. Oh, yeah. Female privilege. And in this case, Asian female privilege. The subject, don't show this to anyone. The message, a truly terrible poem asking me to be his girlfriend. Quote, oh my God, was all I could think. Someone likes me. Who cares if his grammar left something to be desired? I got on Instant Messenger and said yes. When classmates heard the news, I learned the term Asian fetish. Friends told me he'd been suffering from it for a while now. I had only been familiar with the word fetish in regard to something like foot fetish. So I understood the implication. To be attracted to an Asian person was a kinky, odd thing. To be taught at a young age that someone likes you because of a fetish tells you that you are by nature strange, abnormal. I internalized to be attracted to me was to have some sort of perversion. And so I learned to think of all Asians as less desirable and to be turned off by people who were turned on by me. Well, you could fix that. You could change the way you think about stuff, couldn't you? Blah, 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 blah. Says here, every white and Asian male is jealous that I'm with you, some college boyfriend said. It took me a while to figure this out, but once I became more settled in college, I met my first Asian boyfriend, who ended up being my husband. Sadly, he also became my ex-husband. You know, reading this particular piece of your work here, I can't say I'm really surprised. This relationship was followed by one with another Asian male. Suffice it to say, I went a decade without the thought of white men or Asian fetish even crossing my mind. Now it's something I think about every day because of my fiancé. You don't have to, though. You really, really don't. It's a choice. It really is. He came into my life during a period when I had sworn off men. I had been in relationships my entire adult life and just wanted to focus on myself. Single for 5 years. I declared my goal proudly. Single, but not avoiding dick, if I might suggest or speculate. I declared my goal proudly. 11 months later, he showed up at my door and blah, 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 blah. They started dating. As I started to consider lifting my relationship ban, that old white ghost came back again. The whispers of Asian fetish. He has a pattern of dating Asian women. Do you know how many Asian girlfriends he's had? He just might have an Asian fetish. Quote, what the fuck? I demanded of him. And of course, the simpy little beta boy, who probably does have an Asian fetish, quote, I've never seen it that way, he insisted. I grew up in Cupertino. So most of my classmates were Asian, and none of my girlfriends have been Asian. But yes, most, I guess. I just never thought about it. Again, if you're living in a area with a highly Asian population, you might expect, but it's obviously racism. I rolled my eyes at the luxury.
White men
have to not think about race in their daily lives. No, you have that luxury too, though. You just choose to dwell on it. You don't have to. Do you see? I, on the other hand, started obsessing over it. Well, stop then. Stop doing that. It's really that simple. It's a mind frame thing. I couldn't be the girlfriend of someone who had an Asian fetish, because that would make me complicit in a pattern that was rooted in violence and colonization. Oh, he's white. Oh, okay, got it. I was busy trying to be a progressive, independent woman, and an Asian fetish boyfriend did not fit the bill. On the other hand, he hadn't given me, not even once, a race-based compliment or made me feel anything but respected. I knew him to be a good person, someone who was working on being better every day. That's the kind of partner I wanted, the kind of person who's so hard to find. So I returned to him with homework. And this guy still hasn't run as far away from this chick as fucking possible. Quote, you can rationalize your dating history all you want. I said one night in bed, do Asian women have a reputation for being good at pillow talk, by the way, because I feel like I'm killing it. Quote, but you can't deny how it looks from the outside. And most importantly, you have to consider how it makes the women you've dated feel. Number one, why the fuck would he care about people he's not even in a relationship with anymore? Think about how it feels to be one in a line of many women who look like you. How replaceable must that make one feel? How demeaning is that? Oh my God in heaven. Is this a joke? Despite his tendency, it's a bad one if it is. Despite his tendency to be defensive, he took my request to step outside himself seriously. He asked me questions and listened to my answers. We delved into not only the dynamic between Asian females and white males, but also unfair portrayals of Asian men throughout history, and the backlash that public figures like Constant Woo and Chloe Kim have contended with for dating white men. It's an uncomfortable conversation, but we've continued it through the years. The reason we're still together is that I know I don't have to wrestle with these discomforts by myself. If we pass 3 couples in a row who are white men and Asian women, I ask, but seriously, why? He won't pretend he didn't see it too. He's making an effort to not leave me alone in the awkward parts of our love. And I'm making an effort to not let go of his hand. We're not perfect, but after I rise from the little dips of shame, I wouldn't actually want either of us to be anything else. Dude, I don't know who you are. I don't know what your name is. But if you haven't moved out and run away from this fucking there is something seriously fucked up with you, buddy. James Maxwell, thank you for listening.